Greetings everyone and welcome. My name is Chris, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the topic of sales tax and how to automate this for your Amazon business. Now, before we go ahead and get into that, I want to announce the 1 hour giveaway call winner right here. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook and we can make that work. And going forward, all you have to do is like, subscribe, comment in the description below, and it enters you in a chance to win every single video. Now, let's go ahead and talk about sales tax. So I don't really see a whole lot of Amazon sellers talking about this, and I'm not a CPA, but I do have a background in accounting. And everything I say in this video today, there really isn't too much liability attached to it, but I really think it's going to make your business a lot better and more efficient. Now, before we get into that, I do want to say that if you're out of the country or if you're in a tax-free state that doesn't require you to collect sales tax, you probably don't have to watch this video anymore. So that's really first step, is figure out, do you even need to collect sales tax? Now, we are talking about Amazon here, so something to keep in mind is that even if you are in a tax-free state, you may have your inventory in another state, which kind of changes the rules a little bit. So you're going to want to talk to a CPA about that. So if you're like me and you're in California and you know, or just a state that requires you to collect sales tax, you're going to have to collect it. So what the first step is that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to file for a seller's permit in your state. And what this does is it legally allows you to collect sales tax for any kind of business, e-commerce or whatever, assuming you're selling taxable goods. So that's something else you need to figure out. But assuming you're selling taxable goods and you're required to establish a seller's permit in your state. And from when you file it, that's when you're supposed to start paying every 3 months. And you can also purchase wholesale goods tax-free as well. So that's something good to keep in mind as well. And if you don't set this up, let's say years go by and that you aren't collecting sales tax and they find out that you're in the state, you will not only have to pay all of those months or years that prior to that when you filed or whenever they come at you with this, but you're also going to be penalized as well. So just do your due diligence and make sure that you sign up for this. And all you have to do is just go to Google, type in seller's permit, and you fill out for your state, you fill out some forms, and you will get a number usually within 24 to 48 business hours. And from there, you take that number, and for Amazon, which is what we're talking about, you go into your Amazon Seller Central, you go to settings, you click on tax settings, and what you're going to do here is you're just going to keep following the steps forward and keep clicking continue until you get to the state section. Now, this is where you plug in your seller permit ID, and you're going to plug in the sales percentage tax that you're collecting for your state. So every state is different. This is where you're going to need to reach out to your CPA and see how much that you're going to have to be paying. And keep in mind, this does change every year. Your CPA will tell you that. So for example, the state of California right now is 7.5%. And it also varies upon county as well. So like Santa Barbara County, where I'm at, is actually 8.25%. And keep in mind, this is for the year 2018. This changes every year. And so that means that if I sell anything to anyone in this county of Santa Barbara, I have to collect 8.25% on taxable goods. And once again, this is something you're going to want to reach out to your CPA about to know how much you need to collect. Now, if you notice, you see a bunch of other states here. Legally, you are required to collect sales tax in every single state, but that means that you have to establish a seller's permit in all of those states. That means that any state that you're selling in that requires you to collect sales tax. But what I was told, and what I know a lot of Amazon sellers do that are bigger than me, they wait till the state approaches them. So let's say I'm selling stuff in Kentucky. Basically, I was told by my CPA, and what I'm doing is I'm waiting till if Kentucky comes at me and says, look, you've sold, XYZ goods, we want you to pay this amount of sales tax. And that's currently my strategy. Now, I do think some people should apply some common sense here. If you see that you're doing a ton of business in one particular state, it might be best that you establish a seller's permit in that state. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm just trying to help you guys. That's something to think about. So let's say you go to your CPA, you have the percentage in your Seller Central account. Now, what's an easy way to basically see how much I owe and how much I need to pay? And this is where the two services that I'm going to talk about come in. There's two different services here, and I'm sure there's more than that, but the two that I've personally checked out is TaxJar and Taxify. They're relatively similar, basically the same features, except I'm going to be talking about TaxJar, one, because I think it's more user-friendly, and two, it's only $20 a month as opposed to $50 a month. And I'll leave that in the description below. But basically what this does is it can link up your seller accounts. So that includes Amazon, eBay, Shopify. If you have a Shopify store, if you're selling on Walmart Marketplace, Etsy, if you can think of it, they probably have it integrated in their system, which is great. So you set up a $20 a month account. They do have a 30-day free trial. However, the 30-day free trial only goes back 90 days for data. If you want past the 90 days, you're going to have to pay the monthly membership. From there, they will gather all of your sales tax data, and they can see which state you sold the goods in, and they will show you how much sales tax you owe. And you can see this as the months go by. So you're going to be paying every quarter. So January through March is owed on April 31st. April through June is owed on July 31st. And that's really how it goes. And so those are the dates that you have to pay it by. If you don't pay it by the date, there's usually some kind of penalty involved. Now, the way TaxJar breaks this down is very nice. So when you pay this on the state's website, there's certain numbers and columns that you have to enter in. TaxJar gives it just as you need to enter this in on the site. So it's really easy to do. Now, if you just don't feel like even doing this, you can have them do this, $20 per return. So that is about an extra $80 per year. I do think that they have a yearly membership of $204, which is slightly less than 20 bucks a month, which is the one that I use. And so you can pay them $20 a month to do this on your own, or $50 for the late return if there was one that was late. But the way they break this down, it's pretty much common sense. You just enter in the numbers accordingly and you're good to go. And this is also cool too, because you can see the sales volume in each state. So like I said earlier, if you see yourself doing, a large amount of volume in another state that you don't have a seller's permit in, maybe this would be a good sign to say, hey, I think I might establish business in the state and go from there. Like I said, guys, use your best judgment, consult a professional. But hopefully this video is going to save you a ton of time and help get you in the right direction going forward. As always, you have any questions or comments, leave those in the description below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.